Guys, I'm back for you guys. Man, Trump, he's on it, man. Trump do love the military. He's looking out for the military spouses. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not, so I figure I'll go ahead and pull it up and show it to you guys because it's worth it and deserve it. You know what I'm saying? MAGA, baby.
Jennifer Hegseth to say a few words, followed by Pete, General Kane, and then I will sign the executive order putting this into play. And it's an order that's long overdue as far as I'm concerned, like by decades. And we're going to do a real job with it. And Jennifer, if you will, please.
Well, Mr. President, you have been a champion for the military, and we are so grateful for that, and that continues today. And like you said, these are generational issues that are long overdue to address. And we have the most amazing women here who have decades of experience as military spouses themselves to take a look at it. There's really nothing we're going to find that they haven't experienced. And so between what they've experienced and what they know, we're going to really tackle these things. And I've spent the last year traveling around, meeting with military spouses and families around the world and around the country, and it's the same from Kentucky to Singapore. It's housing, it's healthcare, it's employment, it's childcare, it's education, and so we're going to take a look at all of those things. Even one of the women up here, I won't say who, but was a paramedic, and as they moved from state to state, she could not get the license. Switch to that state in time before you move again, before you PCS, and it makes it really difficult for these families to survive, let alone all the other sacrifices we're asking for them. So this is a big deal today. We're super grateful. Every time Pete travels around, Secretary Hegseth travels around talking to the troops, he tells them the president has your back, and now the families know that you have their back too, and we are grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Great job. Thank you. How about you say something first?
I can't
Then
really
we'll go
top
back
that.
into the general. You're not going to talk.
I can't top that, Mr. President.
Give it a shot. You're not going to.
It's
Good job.
it's true. Strong families equal strong formations. I mean, when you look at it from a military perspective as a secretary, our job is to make sure our troops are prepared and ready on behalf of the nation. And if your family's not taken care of, then it causes hesitations and complications for the warfighters up front. And so we say often, and we mean it, no soldier, no Marine, no member of the Joint Force serves alone. And so if we can address the issues of housing and make sure it's quality housing, make sure employment opportunities are maxed out, make sure child care is taken care of, make sure DOEA schools are the best in the world so that our military.
Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. How you guys doing? Named Deontay. Yep, Trump, he does, you know what I'm saying, I love the military. I remember Joe Biden saying Trump calling the military suckers and losers. Yeah, here it is. He said he signed an executive order, whereas the spouses, you know what I'm saying, get basically generational wealth taken care of as far as health care, employment, health, you know what I'm saying, child care, education, housing. They need it. These people serving our country. Why not? For how many years we had people not serving, but sitting their ass on the goddamn couch? Why not these people get, you know what I'm saying, taken care of, looking out for? They deserve it. Let's continue.
Kids are being educated, the trade skills they might want to take the next chapter in life. If that warfighter knows that their family is good to go, they will go the extra mile, which is what our nation asks. So we're in for this. Is not one of those window dressing efforts. Jen's right. This entire group has mountains of experience, and they're raring to go to put it to use on behalf of the great Americans who serve our nation. And this is going to be full speed ahead to address every quality of life issue we can, which, Mr. President, you invested in the one big beautiful bill. People don't know how much went into housing and into barracks and into pay. That's a down payment. And now with the $1.5 trillion, which we're working to get every dollar of, it's going to be a generational investment in barracks, in housing, in healthcare, in pay, in ways no commander-in-chief has ever done before. So, Mr. President, thank you for leading on this, and the commission's ready to go.
Well, thank you very much. You're doing a fantastic job. General, please.
Mr. President, Mrs. Hegseth, Secretary Hegseth, it's an honor for me to be here today at the launch of this commission. As we stand here now around the world, military service members are out doing our nation's business and ready to do what is asked of them. The foundation of American military readiness is the families, and the backstopping of all of that is the military spouses that serve behind them. Inevitably, every time somebody deploys, that refrigerator will break down, the car will break down. You think we're strong. American military spouses are 10 times stronger, and the lift that they carry is significant every single day. I want to thank this commission for the work that they're going to do to help improve military families' lives and military spouses' lives. It is a critical enabler for American warfighting capabilities. So to all of you here and all the work that went into putting this commission together, thank you.
The reason why I decided to play this video, most of all, because, you know, I'm saying, respect to the military. Once again, they out there, you know what I'm saying, losing their lives for us. And we got people on Section 8 and SNAP doing shit. So yeah, they deserve to get this looking out for, taken care of, and the executive order being signed. On the real. But when it comes to Joe Biden, he was like, Trump don't like the military. But there you go. He signed it. But yeah, back to what I seen somebody in the chat was saying there's no people of color up there. I'm like, really? Once again, why does it be about race? Let these people go ahead and get honored and get the executive order signed so they can get taken care of. What's the problem? It has to be about race with these people, man. You know how to be a liberal. Or Karen, what this person was in the chat. I didn't read the name. I just saw what they said. And I said, yeah, I'm going to make sure I mention this in the comments. And or it was something else to go live because this is ridiculous. Let these people go ahead and get looking out. Not everybody goes to the military. And growing up, me as a black man, 43, they was told that no black man should be in a white man's army. So all of a sudden now it's an issue. Where's the people where's color? You people are insane, man. Everything's not about race.
Mr. President, we're honored to be here today.
Where will they be meeting when you have meetings? Because you're going to be having a lot of meetings. Do you know where you're going to be meeting?
Every month here at the White House.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
We can't do better than that.
Can't do better than that.
Use the Oval Office.
Yeah.
Would anybody like to say anything? Maybe Desiree, you could start, and then if you want to say anything. Once again, well, thank you guys for being in the chat. My name is Deontay. I'm MAGA. You know, I love America. I love everybody. I love the world, period, because we all God's children. And trying to be president for the next 2 years, I'm going to still be MAGA once he leaves, period, because I love America. But you guys are a cult out here when it comes to hating on Trump, the Trump derangement. You guys constantly wearing your masks. You're constantly wearing your boosters. You know, I'm surprised you guys not out there marching against Dr. Fauci. The man pleaded fifth 111 times. 111 times. And dude, like, you was pardoned. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was pardoned. What happened? Don't want to talk. What's the sky color is? I pleaded fifth. Really? Come on, man. The man couldn't stop talking when he was doing that COVID. He was everywhere. I'm science. Respect me. Come to find out the man writing diaries and shit. Writing diaries about, you know what I'm saying, about celebrities meeting him and Brad Pitt, you know what I'm saying, copying him. That's not how that supposed to work, man. Millions of people have lives of lost. And not only lives have lost, mentally motherfuckers have lost. People have lost their fucking minds. They keep saying MAGA gets a coat, but you guys get like damn near 15 to 25 boosters. MAGA didn't get no boosters. Trump got his, we didn't get ours. But you guys got it. Y'all thirsty for it. Soon Biden and Harris said they get theirs, they got theirs. You guys went right for it, went nuts. Pure blood, baby. If you got it, hey, that's on you. But other than that, we pure blood. Stop calling MAGA a cult. Because you guys say anything the Democrat Party tell you to do, you go do it. Great time to say it. Please.
Absolutely. I'll just be really short. It's a pleasure for me to serve as the executive director of this commission. I think it's a long time coming. It's a little bit of a pet project out of my office, simply because we have the Chief of Staff of the Air Force's wife that has been inspirational for this. She's 41-year spouse. But collectively, this group has over 400 years of experience as an active duty military spouse. 400, and they've probably moved about 300 times. So if you can imagine that level of experience coming to this commission and solving real problems for the future of our military spouses and families, it's just an incredible thing that you're doing, President Trump, actually asking them to solve these problems and give you good recommendations, and we're happy to help them do that.
So, you know, we have Desiree's been with us for a long time, and she's directly and indirectly done what she's doing for a long, long time, and covered numerous presidents. And she basically responds to the public when the public, they send things. Sometimes they send gifts. It amounts to millions of dollars in small money. And I said, well, what happens to that money? They send it back, or they do charitable work, but it's literally millions. They send it to me. I should be able to get it. She won't give it to me. I should be entitled to it. No, but they send it to me as just a gesture, but they write thousands and hundreds of thousands of letters, and she's got a staff that's all volunteer. And I have one question. How do I compare in terms of response with other presidents of the past?
No comparison, sir.
Is it good or bad?
No, it's good. Actually, it's very good.
It's very good.
Yeah.
We do okay?
You do great.
A little more than Sleepy Joe?
100%
Little bit more.
Yes.
I think so. Thank you. Thank you. Does anybody have anything to say, or a question, or statement? Would you like to make a statement? Yes,
Can
please.
I just say, I'm so excited. We've served with the Wills Box now for a number of years, and I've seen them champion the enlisted corps. As the spouse of a senior enlisted leader, it's pretty easy for something amazing like this to happen and not include the enlisted corps, the senior enlisted leaders from the enlisted corps. It means the world to me that this started with them in mind. And I don't know if you remember, but a few years ago, my husband was serving in Alaska, and before you got on the plane, he asked your detail if he could ask you a question, and he asked if you would FaceTime me, and you did. It meant the
People
world.
I respect. I do that.
You're getting ready to get on the plane, and this E9, this enlisted command chief, asked you to FaceTime me, and you put your arm around him. You said, "He's doing a good job. Take good care of him." And that picture has hung in his office since. And it just means the world to me that you highlight the enlisted corps every chance you get. And I love to tell people that story, that you took the time
That's so
for.
nice. Thank you very much. Say hello. Okay. I remember. Please, anybody else?
Mr. President, this is Cindy Wilsbach, who's humble to
That's
her
right.
core and has had a significant role in putting this commission together. So I just want to highlight Cindy's
Would you like to say
work.
something?
I would just like to say this is a red letter day for me. Just the honor that I feel to be surrounded by these spouses who, what I like to say is we serve by oath or by vow. We didn't all raise our right hand to take an oath, but we began serving this great nation when we extended our left hand and said a vow to the person that we love that serves this country. And we represent people that are at the end of their careers. We have served decades, 20, 30, 40 years of service. This is about the legacy that we leave for the people that come after us, for these people who have children who are serving now, or for families that we say, we love you, we care about you, and we are the greatest military in the world. And part of that is taking care of our families, and that's what this commission will
And
do.
your husband is highly respected, I have to tell you that, by everybody. By everybody. Anybody over here? Yes, please.
Mr. President, on behalf of the Coast Guard, we cannot thank you enough for the amount of money that you have put into our organization. We are beyond excited about the new potentials that we have. We could just feel it. The whole Coast Guard, every time we go to visit our different units and our families, people are super excited.
Including 11 ice cutters, right?
Absolutely. I'll be talking. Yes.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They had one. Russia has 48.
That's what's thank
They
you.
had one, and it was 50
How you
years
doing,
old.
Kathy? Thank you for his
And
service.
you're going to
Thank
soon
you.
be
Thank
getting
you. That's
11
what's up.
brand new ones atop of the line. So that's a big.
Well,
that's
our
a big-
people are very thrilled and super excited and very thankful to you.
That's
So thank you,
great.
sir.
Thank you very much. Good. Anybody else like to say? Last chance. That's it. So I'm going to sign this, and it's a real honor. And then if you like, you could ask questions of the people, and or me if you want. Okay, that's a good one. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't want a bad one on this topic. So we're good. You know, we rate them from 6 to 10. 6 is usually when I'm standing up holding it. You can't do a very good one, but that's a 10. So you deserve a 10 too. You should hold that, okay? questions for us? Please.
On behalf of the press corps, thank you, ladies, for what you do for our service members in this country.
Great.
Mr. President, are the talks with Iran now off and are airstrikes?
No, they're on. They're going on right now. It's an amazing thing. We have a little problem with Iran because we have many talks and we'll say we have or we don't have. You know, we're straight about it. But they deny, but they're not denying it now. They just put out a statement not denying it. But for some reason, when they're talking, they don't like saying that they're talking. So I say, we're in talks. Big deal. We're in talks. And they'll sometimes deny it, even though they spend hours and hours together talking. No, the talks are going along. We're going to hit them very hard yesterday. Very, very hard. Harder than any attack. I think I can say, General, from a point of knowledge, any attack since World War II. That's pretty big. And we were set to go, and they called. And in addition, Saudi Arabia called, and UAE called.
Make sure you guys vote red, everybody. Vote
I called some
red.
numerous people. I don't want to use the word.
Democrat Party, as far as the blacks, vote doggone blue, damn near 100%. It's okay to vote red. At least one time in your life. God damn. Vote red. Don't be misled. You see the Democratic soldiers trying to take over. They are no good for America, no good for nobody. They can take that third world shit and stay over there with the third world. If you don't like America or the Constitution, stay over there where you at. You can't allow these people, you know what I'm saying, being born here and then getting politicians and become politicians and then want to destroy it. We gotta pay attention to these guys. They snakes, they evil, they corrupt. And it's mostly on the Democratic side. The Republicans ain't the best either. They full of shit too. But most of the corruption right now, as far as fraud, mostly sending money overseas, slavery, even go back to the past, it's all Democrat Party, period. Wake up.
Begging, but some were, in particular, Iran did not want to be hit. And they said, we want to talk. We want to talk about the strait, but more importantly, from my standpoint, we want to talk about the denuclearization of Iran, because it's what it's all about. This is why I'm doing this. And it should have been done. It's now 50 years. We keep saying 47 years, but 3 years have gone by. But it's for 50 years that other presidents should have been doing or other countries. Didn't have to be us, but other countries. And nobody did it. And it was time, and we hit them hard with the B-2s more than a year ago now. And that knocked out their capability, their potential capability. We've done a great job. But when we talk, we say we're talking. If we're not talking, when you ask me, no, we're not talking, I'll say it. But we are talking right now. We're talking, and we're talking at the request of Iran, backed by Saudi Arabia, backed by UAE, and backed by Qatar in particular, but others also. Many countries called. Many of the leaders of many are friendly with a lot of them. Almost all of them, one way or the other, and they all wanted to give this a last chance. This is a last chance. This is not something that, if it doesn't happen, this is a last chance for them to sign a good document. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani is requiring an ID to access his government-run grocery stores.
Yeah.
What then is your message to Democrats who do not want to pass the Save America Act and ensure
Pass the Save
ID at
America
felon
Act, damn it. Pass
This
it.
was just announced. Yeah. I heard about it. Yeah. Well, I wish they'd have an ID to access the voting booth. You know, they don't want to access the voting booth with any identification. We want voter ID, and we want proof of citizenship. Well, he also had a thing where you had to have 2 different IDs to shovel snow during the winter, right? So that's a very friendly question. I like her. Who are you with?
One American News, sir.
Very good. All right. Good question. Very good. A good group.
Almost 20 GOP senators who have pledged to stay in D.C. to pass the Save America Act. So what's your message to the rest of the senators who are still on their summer recess?
I think there's nothing more important than the Save America Act. I think they should stay. They do what they want, but I think they should stay. I think it's
They
so
should stay
important
if
to
they
get
work
the best
for
help.
us. That's the problem. All these damn shutdowns. They still getting paid. And most Americans not getting paid. They work for us. We voted them in. They should get pay cuts. Not us, the Americans. It's we the people, period. You know what I'm saying? Period. It's we the people, period. It's not about Trump. It's not about the president. It's not about the government. It's about we the people. Damn it.
Where are the Iran talks, and what are your requirements
You'll find
right
out
now?
today or tomorrow. I mean, they're going to go quickly, one way or the other. It's not very complex. We're talking about the strait, the opening of the strait, having it open literally by tomorrow, completely open. And that's phase one. And phase two is we then will talk about the nuclear capacity, the nuclear, as we've been mentioned. Basically, it's, I think, most the denuclearization of Iran has to happen. And that'll be the second phase. But the first phase is the opening of the straits. The second phase will be the denuclearization, and that'll take a little while. But we're very strong on it. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, and I have never changed in that. Yeah, please, in the back.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said that if Democrats get back into power, what is happening in Spain awaits America. What should voters in other countries with elections coming up soon take?
And then it's like, I get they asking President Trump about this whole thing, how Spain situation, how it look. I get it, but they already said it. They want to open the borders. Democrats said they want to open the borders before the DSA bullshit kicked off. They ain't want to defund the ICE or abolish ICE, defund the police. Now you got the DSA actually now bold enough saying it. It's just dangerous, man. If you don't like the Constitution of America, just go ahead and leave. I think what Trump was offering, you know what I'm saying, people $5,000 to leave up out of here. Wow. That's enough money to go. Get up out of here feeling like America. I don't like all the presidents that we had, but I'm not going to leave. I'm not going to go out there and protest. I'm going to go ahead and keep on going to work. You know what I'm saying? And go ahead and make sure my vote counts if I go on by voting. And now that I'm a YouTube and push this out here. Like, hey, wake up, vote red. Red alert, they out here tripping on both sides. But mainly right now it's the Democrats. $19 billion in Minnesota. Tampon Tim letting pedophiles free. Nobody freaks out about it. They cool with it. But they keep on bringing up the goddamn Epstein files. So I'm like, you guys know that this dude just let somebody free. And dude said he did it. Because it's part of his culture. But no outrage. Oh, because the news didn't push it out there for you guys. You guys aren't doing the research on that. But don't worry about it. Me, other YouTubers and conservatives, we're going to push it out there and we're going to tell you. You can fact check me you want because it's the truth. Tim is bogus. He should be in jail.
Take away from what's going on in Spain.
We have to be very careful with the whole socialist thing. I think in many cases it's much more than socialist. They skipped socialism, they went directly to communism. But when I saw what happened in Spain, I said, we had a version of that. You could say much worse. We allowed 25 million people under Joe Biden, the Democrats. We had open borders, and countries all over the world, almost all of them, sent people that they don't want into our country. And we've gotten a lot of them out, and we're getting more, including murders. And I always say 11,888. That was the number of murders. Many of.
And then my thing, too, also being MAGA and also respecting Trump. This man been assassinated. This assassination attempt at this man multiple times. This man took a bullet for us. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? This man took a bullet for America. And you guys up there complaining. This man can say, you know what? I'm cool. I don't want to be president anymore. This is just too much. But the man stood up and said, fight, fight, fight. Fight, fight, fight. That's what I'm talking about, man. But you guys want to complain. It's about he's getting old. The man 80 years old, getting shot at. What you expect this man to look like or go through? Y'all didn't complain when Joe Biden shaking people's hands. That's not there. Falling up and down the stairs. Pooping on himself on the world stage overseas. The Easter Bunny had to tell him where to go. Insane. But you guys was right with him. With your COVID mask on. Joe Biden, he's sharp as a tack with your COVID mask. Joe Biden, he's sharp as a tack. No, he wasn't. Pray for that man.
committed more than one murder. And we're going to be just like that if you put these lunatics in that I see running for office. We had an open border a year and a half ago. We had the worst border in the history of our country. Now we have the best border. We haven't had one person come in, and this is done by the Democrats, not by...
And the good thing right now, I'm glad that that the lefties are, you know what I'm saying, talking crazy about ICE. Because now you get people that's overseas that want to come over here. Now they don't want to come now. They're like, oh shit, if ICE snatching up Americans, they really gonna snatch up me as illegal. So yeah, they get motherfuckers scared. So yeah, lefties keep pushing that America is bad. Keep these motherfuckers from the border. So they can come to the border the right way. Not the wrong way, but the right way. What the heck?
Left-leaning people, they do charts. And they have, in 15 months, not one person has come in through
Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it.
our southern border illegally. Now, that's pretty amazing. I'd say maybe 10, maybe 15. They say none. And believe me, if they did, they'd love to report it. But you could go outside in those vast plazas where hundreds of thousands of people gathered when they stormed our country, just like they did, in my opinion, worse, just like they did to Spain. They stormed our country. And those borders are, those big plazas that were built, they put concrete down.
And those are basically like military-age men that, I'm saying, flooded the border. Military-age men. And some of them guys came out of prison. Oh, here we go. Trump is a moron. All right. Trump is a moron. So, Greg, what make Trump a moron? The man took a bullet for America. You know what I'm saying? No respect for that. He ain't gangster enough for you for that. You glorify, you know what I'm saying, when people get shot at in the hood. Damn. No respect for that, huh?
And now you look at him, there's...
I thought y'all guys like victims. Trump was a victim. He's a victim. He gets shot at all the time, threats at him all the time. I thought you guys love victims, you lefties, you Karens. Damn, I guess not. Hypocrites.
Grass growing in the cracks. Nobody comes up because they know they're not going to get through. And if they do get through, they're going to be taken out, brought back to their country. So we've done a fantastic job. You know, somebody said you did it too fast. I did it in 30 days. My first 30 days.
Hit that like button, everybody. Hit the like button if you haven't already.
Yep,
Trump is the best president ever. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe.
But we did it in 30 days. Somebody said you should have taken a year and a half or 2 years completed because everyone forgets. Even my speechwriters, they say, sir, nobody wants to hear about the border anymore. You've done it. It's an incredible job you've done, but nobody wants to hear about it. And I should have taken a couple of years to do it because, and it actually was, the public has about a 2-year, people do, they have a 2-year memory for certain things. They have a 2-week memory. I may have.
Come on, man. Trump being shot at is not a psyop, man. Really? We're gonna vote for Trump regardless anyway. For him being without him being shot at, we're gonna vote for him. What up, Hard Right? Welcome to the chat, Hard Right. What's up? What's up?
Gotten elected, certainly partially on the border, and because we did such a great job, it was a long time ago. I did it twice. I did it in 2016 when it was bad. But I did it this last time when it was really bad. It was, Steve, I would say many, many times worse than it was in 2016. 2016 was bad, but what we just had a year and a half ago, that was the worst border maybe in world history. There's not a third world country that would have allowed that to happen, where people coming in from prisons and people coming in from mental institutions and people forced in by government, because these are the people that those governments, those countries, I know them all, they didn't want. And they walked into a country totally unvetted, totally unchecked. Not anymore. Nobody comes in. Except if they come in legally. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yesterday you were...
Who are you with, please?
I'm with the Washington Examiner, sir.
You're doing good. They've been very nice to me.
You were asked yesterday whether Representative Max Miller should resign from most of the allegations, and you said that you had a look at it.
Yeah.
Have you thought about that? And also, do you think
Oh, it's a very sad thing. I know Max. He's a good person. I mean, I always thought he was a very good person. And I'm going to let the families figure that out. You know, those families, I know they're working on it. It's a very sad thing, especially when you know somebody so well, to be going through that. But it's accusations, and I'm going to let them figure that out. Yeah, please.
President, did you sign off on Todd Blanche rescinding the anti-weaponization fund? And also, there are Democrats right now who say there's essentially two tax codes. There's the Trump family tax code and a normal people tax code. Why do you think that your family deserves some level of special exemption when it comes to the auditing of taxes?
Well, I'll go into that. First of all, I had a 10-year case that was settled.
Why you in a code 338? Why you so bogus, man? The dude wrote a letter and he called and told people that he killed Kurt on, you know what I'm saying, for many reasons. It was like if somebody had set this man up and call and say, hey, I want you to go out there and do this stupid shit. He had his own reasons. Because you damn lefties are fucking weak and victim-minded. You gotta keep on saying Trump is this, Trump is that. People don't understand that these are political talks, political words. They actually think this is real. And they out there and they go and try to hurt somebody. People are mentally ill, and you guys know that. I'm gonna keep bringing up. Anytime somebody keep wearing a goddamn frog air suit and a T-Rex air suit, every time some bullshit happens and go marching in the parade, they got some issues here. They got issues, they got mental issues.
Until I announced I was running for office. It was a settled deal like I've been doing all my life. I've been audited every year for my entire life, which I have a lot of wealthy friends that were never audited. To this day, they were never audited. I was audited. And my deal was settled. In writing, it was settled, subject to final approval. Then I announced I was running for president. And all they did was haunt me with it. They ended the settlement, and they went after me illegally. And they did a lot of bad things to me like they did to other people. And I was treated very unfairly by the IRS. It was weaponized against me. Think of it. I had a case this is a 10-year-old case. And it was settled. It was done. The case was over. I announced I'm running for president, and they terminated the settlement in Washington. And they went after me. And what they did here was frankly, if you talk about reparations or if you talk about payment, what they did to me, I had a very good case against them. So this was a case that was settled, that when I decided to run for president, right at the beginning, this is a long time, it's been going on for a long time, they terminated the settlement, which is something that never happened before. We have letters from the biggest law firms in Washington saying that this case is nonsense, just like the Russia was nonsense. They weaponized government. And so that's that, and most people understand that. On the fund, these were people that were treated unbelievable. 22 suicides, more than that, I think. Look at Ashley. Look at so many other things that happened. These people were treated horribly, and this fund could have given them some solace. But it happens to be very popular among many quarters, and I don't participate in that fund. I was certainly treated badly. I don't participate, but I thought it would be very fair for people that spent years in prison, people that were treated so badly, for in many cases people that did absolutely nothing wrong. So I view that fund as a positive, and a lot of Republicans do too, not so many Democrats. And it's not only for that, it's for other things too. People that have been treated unfairly, that have been weaponized by a corrupt government that we had with Obama and that we had with Biden. You had a corrupt government with both of them.
Mr. President, did you sign off on Todd Blanche rescinding?
I didn't look at it. All I know is that Todd Blanche is great. He's going to do a great job. Everybody knows it. And I understand there's been a sign-off. But I don't know what they agreed. I think Todd Blanche agreed to reconfirm things that he's already said, and what he said was okay. Please go ahead.
Other avenues you have supporters get paid essentially, if it's not the anti-weaponization fund, is there another?
Who are you with?
I'm with MS Now, sirs.
You who?
MS Now.
MS Now?
Yes, sir.
Whatever.
BS now. Bullshit now.
Terrible show. They have the worst people on that show.
Are there other avenues
Okay.
that you want to see people?
No, there's no other avenues that I know about. Go ahead.
Mr. President, on the Iran talks.
MS Now. That's the failed MSDNC, right? The failed. They failed. They gave it a new name. You know why? Because nobody watched it. Go ahead. And fewer people are watching it now.
On the Iran talks, is there discussions, is Iran willing to return to a fully free navigation of the strait? Is that on the table?
Yep, fake news. Definitely fake news.
Say it again differently.
Would Iran be willing to return to fully free navigation of the
It has to be. I'm not going to let them charge.
Would you
If anybody's going to charge, we'll charge. We're the one that has total. We have total control. You know, we have a thing called a blockade with his Navy, and that Navy is.
Trump is not a traitor. The Democrat Party is. When he's talking about some democracy, Joe Biden stepped down and just threw Kamala up there. Nobody voted for Kamala at all to be president. They just threw her up there for 107 days of bullshit. And they in debt now. $1 billion campaign down the drain. What are you guys talking about?
They call it a wall of steel, the United States wall of steel. And no, there's not going to be charging. We're not talking about charging at all. There won't be charging. Yeah, please do that.
President, you said last week that illegal immigration...
Who are you with?
GB News. You said that illegal immigration is killing the UK. Nigel Farage today has proposed the use of...
And then the whole campaign, Kamala campaign, even Joe Biden, but mostly Kamala campaign was based on emotions and shit. It wasn't about logic, and definitely not about no policy. It was about emotions. They're gonna take your rights away. Your body, your choice is gonna be taken away. You can't have your baby or your body. You can't have abortion or you can what? Really? Roe versus Roe versus Wade and all that stuff going back and forth. You know, like y'all using all this BS, emotional stuff. No, we need to get this border closed. Yeah, and have more babies. And that's the problem. Y'all have all these borders open and they having more babies than us Americans. That's not cool. How you letting the people that don't belong here or they getting here having more babies than us here that belongs here and born here? That's crazy. We gotta wake up, man, and stop being so divided. We gotta unite, man. We gotta stay united and wake up. None of us Americans go overseas and do the shit these people are doing. They getting away with a lot of stuff, man. You guys know that. You can't go to Mexico and do the stuff they doing. You get shot at, hanged, taken away, kidnapped. Overseas, they'll blow you up. And I had said earlier in my chat before, it's slavery going on in Africa right now. It's damn near 1 million people enslaved right now. Nobody doing nothing about that. What about where the Karens at for that?
The Royal Navy to combat small boats crossing the channel. Do you think that European nations, including the UK, should be using their militaries to stop illegal immigration?
Look, you have to stop illegal immigration in Europe.
Right, nobody lost their
better
rights.
than anybody, better than the people that run it, and have great relationships. Two things are killing Europe. Number one is immigration. Number two is energy.
Nobody lost.
Like
They
the
lost
UK,
child
you look
credit
at the
tax.
UK, they have one of the best energy fields in the world, North Sea Oil. Now I think the new prime minister is going to actually open up from what I hear. I spoke to him, and he sounded terrific on this subject. But you open it up, you'll be a wealthy country. You keep it closed, you're going to be a bankrupt country, which is what you are now. Essentially, you're a bankrupt country. You have one of the greatest energy fields, the North Sea Oil, one of the greatest fields.
And then with Obama, when it came to especially health care, you was mandated to get that bullshit to get Obamacare. Wasn't that a mandate for you guys to get that shit? You guys love the mandates, you Democrats. Y'all love that shit. But keep on saying MAGA and Trump, he's dictator. We Nazis, we fascists. But you guys show love the boosters. I quit my job. Fuck that shit. I believe in God. I believe, you know what I'm saying? God gonna take care of me. Fuck that shit. On the real. Pure blood, man. I understand. I get some people that I just got the job. I don't want to lose it. Hey, at the end of the day, every action has a reaction. The ones that took that shot, they regret it. Now they wish they didn't take the shot. Now you got Stephen A. out here apologizing and shit to Stephen Irving, Kyrie Irving. You got Stephen A. Smith apologizing to Kyrie Irving about not taking a shot during the basketball game during this time. And New York's made him stay only at home games. He couldn't play during home out games, away games. He had to stay for home, couldn't play away games. I'm like, that's stupid as hell. You guys are serious with this? Athletes suffered, military people suffered for this damn mandates. It was all lies. And we can't even sue nobody.
You know, the UK buys its energy from Norway.
The Negroes came
who gets the energy from the North Sea, from not as vibrant a part of the North Sea oil was.
That's crazy.
You're sitting on top of gold, better than gold, and you don't do anything with it. It doesn't work. You don't allow the oil companies in, and it doesn't work. And I spoke with your new prime minister. I was very impressed, and he sort of indicated to me, I said, look, you can be a wealthy country or a bankrupt country. You have your choice. Not every country has that choice. Almost no country has that choice. But in the case of the UK, Scotland, I'm talking about Scotland, right off the shore, in Aberdeen, Scotland. Aberdeen was the oil capital of Europe for years. And then one day the Liberals got in and they closed it. And your energy rates have quadrupled. You have among the highest energy prices in the world. You could cut them in half. You could give away free energy if you'd open up the North Sea. And it's good for another 500 years, maybe more, probably 1,000 years.
Has our new Prime Minister restored your faith in the leadership of Britain? Has our new Prime Minister restored your faith in the leadership of Britain, or do you think it's too late?
Look, I think we're going to have a very good relationship. We'll see. I'm not going to tell him how to run his country. But I can tell you, immigration is an incredible problem for Europe. You're allowing people in that in many cases are not going to help you. I'm going to be nice. They're not going to help you. And the people that are there, people from your country, people from other countries that have been there for a long time and did a great job, beautiful place. Look, I love it. You know, my parents both came from Europe indirectly. So a German, Scott, and you know, it's like one of those things. It's very sad. When I see what's happening to Europe, it's very sad to me. But they have a problem with immigration. They have a problem with energy. You have windmills all over the place. Windmills, you lose your shirt.
Thank you, Kathy. What's this, dude? MAGA, where's your Trump phone? Hey, you guys love MAGA and Trump more than we do. I don't got no MAGA phone. I just voted for Trump and got a few hats. I only got a Trump t-shirt. I just got a couple of hats. So once again, you in my chat, I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. But don't think everybody that's MAGA gonna just go ahead and buy everything that Trump got as far as his stock, his clothes, his shoes, and all that shit. Let them do it, that's on them. But not everybody that's MAGA is going Trump crazy. I'm pretty sure you got all the booster shots. How many booster shots you got? It's about the Trump phone. How many booster shots you got? And take that mask off while you in the chat. Nobody can't see the mask anyway. All right, they think everything Trump says to do, we just gotta go crazy with it. They the main ones. Assume something they don't like, or the Democrat tell them to go do it, they go out there and go do it. Fucking agitators. That's all they are.
Country with windmills is a loser, okay?
Loser.
You just have to look. If they have windmills, they're a loser. Because you lose money with windmills.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Go ahead, who are you with?
John Ferguson.
Yeah, that's right.
Original name.
What was your name before?
John Ferguson.
Go ahead, John.
We're, Mark. Two domestic questions, sir. The first one is Exxon and Chevron, Integrated Oil US, just announced record profits second quarter.
I disagree with this damn war. Get it over with and blow their ass the fuck up and get it over with. How about that? Blow it up, blow their ass up, and call it a day. This shit's taking too long, Trump. Blow their ass up. You satisfied now with that person in the chat? Talking about you wait.
Unbelievable. For Exxon, for instance, 14
Boom.
years, they've had it over a decade. For Chevron for the quarter, highest in history.
Yeah, they told her blow their ass up, man. Fuck it.
You saw that?
Yes. I mean, it's
Fucking
unbelievable. On the backs.
I don't like it.
Workers paying higher debts. What?
And my thing, yeah, go ahead and blow their ass up. They blow themselves up anyway. Allah Akbar and blow themselves up. Go ahead, blow them up. They used to that shit. That's what they do anyway.
They're making too much money. Okay? Based on a shortage, they're making too much money. I don't like it. And I should be the last one to say, because I'm a big free enterprise guy. Nobody bigger. And, you know.
But I'll tell you this, it's more people that died in Chicago since this whole Iraq war thing kicked off. No outrage for that, though. No new wars. What you mean, Chicago? No new wars in Chicago? You talking about that? Oh, you talking about New York. Oh, wait. You talking about Cali. No, you talking about Detroit. No new wars in Detroit. That's what it is. You talking about Iran, really? That's been going on for 47 years. But here in America, it's multiple states with the bullshit. MAGA ain't no goddamn cult, man. Take your mask off. You know what I'm saying? And stop getting them booster shots. Right, Iran no goddamn new war. How many presidents been talking about this Iran war? How many presidents before Trump? Get out your ass. Fucking Obama sent their ass a whole $1 billion cash pallet to their ass. Bowing to him and kneeling to him. Isn't Obama supposed to be Muslim anyway? Bullshit.
You're going to see oil when we're finished with Iran. You're going to see the prices drop through the floor. But they made too much money. Too much money. Chevron, too much money. ExxonMobil, too much money. When you look at one company where they made 12 times what they made the year before, they're going to give some of that back to the public. And they better cut the retail price, the consumer price.
Showing the video how the president signed an executive order showing respect to the military spouses where they can get, I guess basically funding for housing, healthcare, education, and etc. And I wanted to play this video because I had seen somebody comment like, ain't nobody of color up there. I'm like, really? That shouldn't even matter. People of color on fucking Snapchat and fucking Section 8 ain't doing shit. At least these people going, overseas and they dying or they surviving. Why not look out for them? They doing something. Hey, dude, who is this person supposed to take my hat off? Dude, you in my chat. Take your punk ass out somewhere else. Leroy Jetson, take your ass somewhere else, man. Come on, take my hat off. Take your ass to another chat. This hat stays on. Soft ass motherfuckers. Take your hat off. Dude, this is the conversation. Watch the video. How the hell my fucking hat offend you? I know you a beta. Fucking Democrats. Grown ass man prancing around, showing his ass. Gay and shit. Goof ass up out of here. Fucking worry about my hat.
Too much money. You're surprised I'm saying it. I'll say it loud and clear. I'm not happy about it. Go ahead.
That triggers me.
Go ahead.
It's offensive.
For those of us here that live in Washington, D.C. with our families, like I do, the renaissance of the city that you've been able to do in 18 months.
It's offensive. Why he hasn't had on? He's black.
Did you hear that, everybody?
My
The
brain
renaissance
can't
of
take the
Washington,
narrative.
D.C. in 15, 16 months is incredible, and it is. It's clean, it's safe,
Never
and
experienced
you haven't
slavery.
seen
I'm gonna
anything
talk
yet.
about
We're
something never
replacing all of the
experienced.
grass that hasn't been
hell.
replaced in the fields, all the beautiful fields where the grass is. You know, grass is like humans. It has a life. This grass hasn't been changed in 100 years. We're doing all the fields. We're doing most of the graffiti is moved. But the most important thing is it's been beautified. We did 78 monuments and fountains and waterfalls, and they went from being horrible, mostly graffiti said, most of them for 25 years never worked.
Why you still in the chat? If I had a
It's a
feeling, why you
renaissance,
still
like
in the
you
chat?
use
You
the
can
word
go somewhere
renaissance,
else.
but it's a renaissance.
But if you don't want to go to us, please welcome.
We have very little crime now.
Like, share, and
This was the
subscribe,
crime capital,
Leroy.
frankly, of the world. It was the most unsafe capital of any country in the world. Now it's one of the safest,
So
and it's one of the
go ahead,
safest
have fun,
places in
Stuart.
the United States. And people are coming
Welcome
down.
to
You
the
see
chat.
the tourism in Washington. Everyone's safe
You guys
now.
are too soft, man. Y'all some
Nobody's
keyboard
getting
warriors.
mugged,
Soft as hell.
shot. We used to
Offended
lose
by a
3
fucking
people
hat.
a week. Death. That's the least. I mean,
Leroy thinks
3
men can
people
get
in terms
pregnant.
of death. 150 people a year were
He probably
killed.
think he
They
can
come
get
down
pregnant.
from
That's
Iowa.
the
They come
problem
from
is.
Indiana. Mom, I'm looking
Leroy,
at the
you
Washington
pregnant? You on your
Monument. I'm looking
period?
at, and they end up
My
getting
hat
killed.
red
They call their
offended you
parents. I'm
because it
sorry.
reminds of your period?
It doesn't happen anymore.
That
We
time of
don't
the
have
month?
that anymore. We're rough, but we don't have that anymore. Our military has been unbelievable, and they work very well with the DC police. But our military came in, the general people that we know so well, General, right? They don't play games, and we got the gangs out.
Don't run away, Leroy. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. We grown here. We're adults. Common sense. Tough skin. Be offended. That's the problem now. Nobody want to be offended. Be offended and learn from the shit. It's not hard. That's not hard. On the real. Like, share, and subscribe. Everybody's welcome to the chat. Let's get it.
We removed almost 5,000 people who were career criminals who came in with Biden with the open borders, a lot of them.
You got
And
suggestions
they're
in
no
your head.
longer here. We sent them back to their countries.
You've
got to see this. Have you ever seen such a transformation?
It's unbelievable if you live here. It's just, you don't want to go back.
And now you can walk to work. You can walk to the White House. The people in the White House, they work in the. They tell me, sir, thank you. They're thanking me all the time. They used to have to take Uber, and the Uber would be robbed. Okay, they weren't even said. They'd go to a restaurant, and they'd feel safe in a restaurant, and then the restaurant would be robbed. Do you know the restaurants were all closing? And now you can't, if you're a restaurateur, you can't get a restaurant. You literally can't. The restaurants are booming. Crime is down 92%, maybe more. I want to get down 100%. You know, the greatest statistic, though, that you have is that 2% of the people create 91% of the crime. You could really handle that. And we moved almost 5,000 people out. They're criminals, career criminals. We moved that, or in some cases, they're in jail. In some cases, they were so bad, they came in through Biden. They're so bad, we don't want to move them out. We want to put them in jails because we're afraid they're going to come back in somehow. So I appreciate you saying that.
Thank you, Bishop Beard. Thank you.
Come in and try to roll it back, the new Democratic mayor.
Well, you had a mayor who's, I guess she's a communist. I mean, she says she's a socialist, but I guess she's a communist based on what she says. But I have not met her yet.
Go ahead
I look
and go
forward to
with it.
meeting
You already said it.
Would I federalize? Basically, you're saying federalize DC. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm allowed
no
to
problem.
do that. Would I do it? If they want to, we took something that was in deep trouble. It was a graffiti-filled, crime-filled mess. We turned it into Shangri-La. We turned it into a great place. Look outside. Look what's happening. Look at the beautiful ballroom and military center. It's a military center, much more than, we have a drone port on top. Look at the grass in front of the White House being all replaced with the top stuff. The parks are all being replaced. It starts very soon, actually. We'll do one at a time. It's about 700 acres of parks. They're all going to have brand new, the best grass you can get. Scott's. You know Scott's? Scott's Miracle Grow. They're doing it. They do great grass. What can I tell you? I got to give them a plug because they did the White House for free. Sir,
welcome.
a friend of mine, a guy that, he's terrific. we'd like to give you new grass at the White House. I said, I'll take it. How much?
You shaking your head about what?
I'll take it. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, this is at least the fifth time you turned off airstrikes against Iran since April to negotiate. What is your message to the American?
If I go to a MAGA rally, I will not get put out. Period. And for you to even say that, I know you stupid because you never been to a MAGA rally to get put out. So how would you know to get put out? You never been to one. Oh, somebody told you and you believed it. That's why you said it. Get the fuck out of here. Stop it, bro. MAGA's not about hate, bro. It's about America. It's about basically just human race, love each other, common sense. We don't see color. That's the problem, you guys. You guys keep on seeing color every goddamn time. My hat says Make America Great. Because it's red, it triggers you. Why not make America great and keep it great? Why not?
People were wondering what has changed this time. Why should it be different?
Well, you don't know. I don't know. I think we're going to maybe get something, but I want to give them every last chance before decapitation. It's very tough to do what we have planned, still planned. We'll see what happens. But it's a very, very tough thing to do. I think I'm very proud of the fact that I'll give people a chance. This is a big move. To do an attack that big on a country, I'd rather not do it. Now, we've already, through lots of large attacks, but they were normal large.
Black people going to a MAGA rally and having a good time, talking, praying, all of
that. Because what happened...
And that's the thing about it, too. You know what I'm saying? You go to a MAGA rally, they're praying. People are happy. People are smiling. You go to a Democrat BS, they crying. They victims. They blaming everybody for bullshit. MAGAs, we don't do that. We embrace. You guys always crying and shit. The white man, the what about, but he, but she, they. Get the fuck out of here. That's your problem now with these pronouns. Them, they, them, those. You are one person. You are not them, them. How many people are you? You only just one. God damn. That's the problem. You guys are just greedy and confused. You don't have to be. You don't know who been to a MAGA rally. We all behind our phones and the laptop, so that makes no sense even bring that up. But I can show you videos of people having a good time at MAGA rallies, but you'll still say that's AI or something like that, Leroy. All my people sell out. How you a sellout? Who owns you? You a slave? You one of the slaves that's in Africa right now and they got away? There's 1 million people enslaved right now in Africa.
Weapon, but hopefully they'll come to their senses. So they called me. And
Elon Musk was born in South Africa.
They said, please don't attack. We'll make a deal. That's the real truth. And everyone knows it. And who wouldn't call? And they found out through leaks and sleaze bags, a lot of sleaze bags, leakers. Leakers should be put in jail. They have to strengthen up the laws for leakers. But in this case, leakers helped because they said the severity of the attack, and Iran knew it. They knew what was coming. It was going to come last night, and it would have gone on for a long time, and there'd be...
Put it like this, not all white people see color, and not all black people see color. Not all Asians see colors, not all Mexicans see colors. Why is it that we got to wait on the bad side on every goddamn thing? That's the problem with you damn liberals and Democrats. Y'all lean on the bad side. And that be your whole life, your whole narrative. That makes no sense. Why can't you be on the good shit? Yeah, it's bad out there. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. Yeah, but don't forget about it. But it's still good out there. And it's greater good out there, period.
Essentially very little left. There'd be nothing left. And if I'm given a chance to...
See, it's a problem, 6,000. You see color. You the racist. You in my chat, conservative chat, common sense chat, you guys come to my chat telling me as a black man that white people racist. All along while white people in this chat. supporting me. Subscribe to my channel. Now, one person in this chat, you know what I'm saying, as far as white, called me a nigger or a sellout. But most of you guys in this chat is black. You guys call me a nigga and a sellout. You guys bogus as hell. You the racist. You guys are the racists. That's crazy. And this whole chat, we just showing support about the military family. You guys missing the whole video of the narrative. That's crazy. We talking about military family being supported, which the video is about. No conversation about that. Everything just negative. I'm showing something positive. Insane.
Live. I want to give that chance. So I'm under no time constraint. You know, I don't happen to be running, but a lot of very good Republicans are running. And you have a sick ideology taking place right now that, you know, hopefully they'll be defeated because they'll destroy the country if they ever take over. But this desk is like a blocking desk. No matter who gets in. If it's bad, I block. And I'm good at blocking. If it's bad, if it's stupid things like the things they want to do, we want to get rid of the U.S. Senate. I don't like a lot of Senate, just to be honest with you. I don't want to get rid of the Senate. We want to get rid of the Supreme Court. They want to put now 21 or 23 people, that's the real, on the Supreme Court, or get rid of it. They want to get rid of the presidency. They want to have an appointed executive running. That's a communist thing, you know? That's a communist thing. These are sick people. And, you know, I said it the other day, and it maybe doesn't sound that important, but when a country goes bad, like look at the blue cities. What do they have in common, aside from massive crime? Much more crime. The Republicans have very little crime. But what do the blue cities have in mind? And also you can say this with nations when they go bad. The blue cities have something in common. Crime, high crime, vicious, violent crime. But what do they have in common? They're all dirty. They're filthy dirty. Their streets are dirty. Their streets smell. Their storefronts are broken. Their trees are all gross. Everything about the place is dirty. And I don't want to mention any specific city. It's really all of them. But you go into these cities that are blue, they're crime-ridden, and they're filthy dirty. They're like Washington, D.C. was a year and a half ago, with graffiti all over the place, with crime all over the place, with people afraid to be here. You had to be ashamed of your capital. Some of the most beautiful buildings built in the real time. Like you look at the Supreme Court building and they put graffiti on it. The most beautiful columns I've ever seen. In fact, our columns are going to be nicer at the ballroom. I said, I want the Supreme Court, but better. But you look at those columns, how magnificent, and then you see graffiti on the side of the building. No artistry, just bad people. But the one thing they all have in common, crime, two things, crime, but they're disgusting. They're filthy dirty. The streets are dirty. There are people lying all over the street doing you know what. They're all the same. And this is what we're going to put in it. Not going to happen in our country. Go ahead, please. Yeah, in the back.
When someone, sir.
Go ahead.
When a group.
Well, let him go with it, young.
Yeah, you seriously, I'm not just weird, not white. You seriously not right.
Who are you with?
I'm with Real America's Voice, sir. So when a group such as the Haitians lose their temporary protective status, how soon?
Beautiful deal. Leroy, show us on the dial where the bad man touched you.
Temporary, you know.
Leroy, you been touched? That's why the hat triggers you. You've been touched by somebody with a hat on.
We've had people here for many
one of
years.
your uncles at the barbecue.
You know, we had
He
people coming in. They've been here for many, many years. And they had a tragedy in their country.
You know you're a beta, you guys.
Storms, it was,
you know what I'm saying? You were definitely a beta, man. Because how the hat trigger you, man? That's crazy. How my attire, my outfit trigger you? You a grown-ass man. Damn, that's fucked up. That's fucked up, man. And guess what? He's a fucking voter, you guys. A grown man offended by a hat. And he's a voter. Jesus Christ. Welcome to the chat.
It was hurricanes, and they come in, and they're here for 12 years, 14 years. So
yeah, he's
something's got to be done. Yeah, please.
Have you spoken to Janine Pirro about?
That's fucked up, and he is.
No, Janine Pirro made a mistake. It was vandalism. I just told you we did, I think, 78. One of the things was the reflecting pool. Hasn't worked since 1922 because it always leaked. It always leaked from 1922. It's the largest, longest pool ever and all that. The concept is beautiful, but it always leaked because of the size, because of maintenance, whatever. But it was built in 1922, and from the day it was built, it leaked. Biden spent $58 million. Barack Hussein Obama spent much more than that. He said, I have an idea. Let's take the water from the Potomac. So they took the water from the Potomac, and it was putrid. It was putrid.
Daddy issues.
It was a disaster.
That's
Biden
crazy.
was a disaster. I said, I'm going to get that fixed, along with Doug Burgum and Department of Interior. And we worked hard on that. Now, we worked hard on all 70. It's actually, I think, 81 now. You saw the new horses that just opened by the bridge with the gold. That was the way they were many years ago. Now they look better than they did many years ago. But these monuments look better than they did when they were originally built. Not just a little fix-up. We made them the way they were, plus. And everyone's so proud. The biggest, one of the bigger jobs was, not really the biggest, believe it or not, but one of the biggest was the reflecting pool. And we did a great job. We sandblasted the stone outside. It was granite, so it has a long life. We did a great job. We got very expensive material to put on top of the surface that always leaked because it was stone. It was a stone surface. Always leaked. And we put it on, and it was beautiful. Now, we have photographs or tapes, like moving cameras, right? We have them where people are on the side cutting it with a box knife. Now, I'm not saying I was 100% thrilled with the contractor, but the contractor was rushing. We wanted to get it open for July 4th, and we got it done. But in addition, there was vandalism. Number one, look at the grass, where the grass was all knocked out with a very, very powerful ingredient that we know very well what it is. I'm not going to say the name because people get ideas. But they put a terrible phrase, I won't say that either, but a terrible phrase on a massive piece of grass that we had just replaced. Killed the grass. We had to replace the grass. A lot of grass. In addition, they took knives or cutters and they cut the material. And they put their hands and they pulled it. And there was also some maintenance things that we would have routinely fixed. But we had that up and it was perfect. And then you had the bubblers, which get rid of what forms in the water. And that works great, but they turned it off because of the fight. Because it competed a little bit of noise during the fight. They turned it off, and it grows very rapidly in the water, but that actually works very well.
Yep, you guys, hard work got us a
just
decor
about
started.
set to reopen it, and we had to replace cut areas where they cut it and ripped it. But there's a tape, and Jesse Waters, by the way, did a whole big thing on it. There's a tape that's out there that I posted on Truth, where you have people leaning over the side, the weakest part because of the flexibility. It moves. It's very complicated. It moves. And the softest part has to be flexible. And that's the stuff you can cut. And these guys knew what they were doing. And they cut all the way along the base. Cut, cut, cut. Now, when Janine looked at it, it was the day after the 4th of July, with the largest fireworks display in the world. And the stuff was laying all over the pool, the fireworks, because they used the pool as one of the, and it was all over the pool. It was the day after, very shortly thereafter. But that was working beautifully, and it was vandalized. And if you look at the tape, now the tape isn't a great tape in the sense that it's a little hard to say who it exactly was, but it was people cutting this very expensive material, waterproofing material. Anyway, it looked beautiful. And then they cut it. and they vandalized. And we weren't necessarily thrilled with the contractor, but they did a job, and they were fixing any problems. But then it got carried away because the judge was extremely unfriendly to Janine. And frankly, I think she choked because the judge was really vicious. Instead of going after the people that did it, the judge went after her and went after her department.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess she choked. I don't know what the hell
Are
happened.
you reconsidering her role?
I don't know what. You don't. You're fake news. Don't ever talk again. You're fake news. One of the worst in the business. Fortunately, nobody watches you. But something happened. There was vandalism there, and there was some things from the contractor which we would fix. But it's almost complete, and when it opens, it's incredible. It's really incredible. But remember this: it leaked from 1922. It opened in 1922. They never solved the leak problem because there was stone, and the cracks with the stone. It's not stone is really not a waterproofing material. We essentially use a very high-grade swimming pool type material, which was my idea. I was very proud of that idea. By the way, I didn't know the contractor. Everyone said the contractor. I didn't know the contractor, but when it was completed, it was perfect. But then somebody went in and cut it. Just like they did the grass. You know, nobody talks about the grass. The grass have helicopter pictures of what they did. Wasn't it 87? Right? You know what they did, right? Did you see what they did? Did you see what they wrote? What did they write?
8647.
That's right. 8647. They 86 them. So it's 8647. They didn't do 45. At least they left 45 out. But they, in massive letters on the grass, 8647. And nobody talked about that. That was vandalism too. We had to replace all that grass. It was a tremendous amount of grass. Because when you hit it with this poison, it's acid, it kills the grass no matter how, you can't even clean it, even if you got there right after. It's very powerful stuff. I know it well. So, people did great damage to this thing because they're sick people. You know who's representing the man is a man from Crew, a sleazebag who's been suing me for my whole political, hasn't won, he's lost all the time. But Crew, do you know what Crew is? It's a third-rate operation that's supposed to be a charity, but it's not. They used it for political reasons. So we should be proud of our monuments, and we should be proud of our city. And, you know, that was open before they did the damage. It was open. It never looked more beautiful. It looked like a mirror. And that's what it was supposed to be. It was a very dark color, because otherwise you don't see it as a reflecting pool. And it looked beautiful. Well, it'll look just as beautiful. It'll be fixed and open over the next week and a half, 2 weeks.
Mr. President.
Okay. One more, yeah.
Who are you rooting for in Michigan?
Well, you have a very interesting group. Who I'm really voting for is Mike Rogers, because I think he's going to be a great senator. But you have a communist versus a socialist. That's the way I look at it. You have a communist versus a socialist. It looks like the communist is leading. We're talking about for the Democrat primary. But for the Republican, you have a very good man, and he should be able to win. Yeah. Okay, one more. Yeah, go ahead. Lafayette Park. It's great. Do we do a good job at Lafayette Park? So Lafayette Park is right across on the other side of the street, and I made a donation of $10 million. That was me, personally, and it's unbelievable. It was so dirty and so disgusting. Like everything liberal becomes dirty and disgusting. Socialism, liberalism, progressivism. You know, the word progressive is such a nice word. They love using it. But the radical left isn't letting them use that word anymore. But Lafayette Park is a large park. It was known as the gateway to the White House. And it was disgusting. The monument is beautiful. Graffiti all over it. I won't say what was on the sidewalk, but horrible, 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 disgusting stuff. And not only did we fix it, we have military standing there watching it. And if anybody touches it, that was the one mistake with the reflecting pond. They hadn't put up the cameras yet. They had enough up because you see what's happening. but if they would have had them up, we would have had it would have been a lot easier.
Thank you guys. 2,284 subscribers. We are growing. We are growing. Thank you. Thank you. Let's continue to another video. Thank you guys for watching it with me. That was a long one. 52 minutes and 26 minutes. Yeah, 52 minutes and 26 seconds long. Appreciate you guys.
Do you have any regrets about how it was rolled out?
Look, I continue to believe that the pied-à-terre surcharge will raise $500 million on an annual basis. And the importance of this tax is that it is one that will ensure that our streets are cleaner, that our city is safer, that our schools are more supported. And what we are also doing is embarking on something new in New York City, where we are ensuring that we are assessing the primary residence of homeowners in homes that are worth more than $5 million. And we've sent out 17,000 letters. And now from that, we're receiving engagement from New Yorkers to assess what the final number is. The thing we did not want to do was levy this charge without giving New Yorkers a period of time where they could engage with the city.
I hate to say it, but after this whole doxing shit that he did with the list, and that's vastly inaccurate because people are saying that they got letters when they're primary residents of their household, I think we might have to vote in a Republican fucking governor to get this man out. He's an habitual line stepper. He thinks his shit don't stink. He's doing stuff that's outside of his fucking jurisdiction to do. And now he's created a target for people because they're rich. It does feel like financial violence, like he's punishing people for making different choices. So wait a second. If my name was fucking Vonquisha and I had 5 kids out of fucking wedlock, you would fully pay for my housing because I don't want to work because I got to raise these babies. But because I've chosen to keep my legs closed, get an education, work super fucking hard, you want to tax somebody out of their ass. Or because I made better investments in the stock market and I have a bunch of money and I wanted a home in a place that is one of the financial centers of the fucking United States, you want to overtax me. So you're being punished for making better choices because we are in a capitalist society and you think we should take care of the bums. Let's just keep it real. He wants us to take care of the bums.
Boy. So we got to talk about socialist mayor Zohran Mamdani getting called out over a moment of hypocrisy, which is quite common when it comes to Democrats and leftists, as he admitted that ID will be required. ID will be required to use his socialist-run grocery stores, okay? Everybody should be familiar with Zohran's plan to open up government-run grocery stores. It's going to be a complete and total disaster where they're going to be given 30% discounts on essential goods, right? Like meat, bananas, eggs, right? Like the stuff that everybody buys, okay? And the whole point is to make groceries cheaper for New Yorkers. Now, it's not going to make groceries cheaper for New Yorkers because ultimately somebody has to pay for the government grocery store, right? Taxpayers will be paying for it. Also, on top of that, it's essentially going to be first come, first serve, right? The people who need it the most are not going to get it. It's going to be people who are closest to the store who can go in and hoard all of the discounted groceries before their neighbors are able to get to it, right? Again, this has disaster written all over it. So he was asked a question about how is it that he's going to keep people from taking advantage of the government-owned grocery store. And his answer, right, requiring IDs, again, is sparking a whole lot of outrage because people are saying the clear and obvious hypocrisy of requiring an ID to enter a government-owned grocery store, but yet, for whatever reason, they don't think it's a good idea to require ID to vote.
How are you going to keep people from taking advantage of that, that deal, basically? And is there going to be a limit on the number of items that someone can take that are discounted at that level from that essential basket?
So our RFP makes very clear that this is a program for New Yorkers to be able to put food on the table, not a program for people to be able to make a quick buck through reselling. I'm going to pass it over to our EDC head, Gia Pack, to add some additional details.
Yes, if you look at our RFP for the operator, we are looking to make sure that we target New Yorkers, whether it be at sort of a library card exit, and also we manage who's buying and that is focused on everyday New Yorkers. So we are mindful of that, and so we're going to make sure that we have all the things in place to ensure that that does not happen.
Amazing. So they're requiring ID to shop at a government-owned grocery store, right? They require ID in order to shovel snow, right? You guys remember that? But for whatever reason, an ID to vote, well, that's too much, right? That's too much. Why is it too much? Because IDs are racist. Voter ID is racist, according to these people. Okay? Not only that, it discriminates against poor people, which is part of the reason why it's racist, right? Because Democrats just assume that all black people are broke, all the Hispanics are broke, all the non-whites are broke, right? They're so broke that they can't afford IDs, right? Or they're too stupid to get an ID. Now, do they also believe that so-called black and brown people are too stupid and too broke to get an ID to shop at this government-owned grocery store? Because if that's the case, right, if their logic is correct, right, if they're being consistent, they should not be implementing an ID system in order to use his government-owned grocery store. That would be discriminatory.
Hold the fuck up. Let me get this straight, right? Democrats and the Democratic Socialists of America don't want the people of New York to have an ID to be able to vote, right? But rising star Democratic Socialist of America, Zoran the Moron Mandummy, the mayor of New York, decided he just came up with an idea to cut the cost of certain grocery products by 30% in their 4 government-ran grocery stores across New York. But in order to use these benefits or reap these benefits from this great idea from Zoran the Moron, you need an ID. They have to be able to identify that you are a regular New Yorker, because they don't want outsiders or the wealthy to take advantage of this program to use it to buy items on highly discounted 30% off to go sell it back for profit. So you don't need an ID to vote, but any kind of benefits that they're offering, you need an ID to benefit from anything they're saying that they was going to give you for free if you vote for them without an ID. So quick recap, no ID needed to vote to put them in power after they done sell you some bullshit ass lie. But once they're in power and it's time for you to get the benefits of your hard, high risk responsibility putting them in power, bitch, you gonna need an ID to benefit from anything. Okay.
This is what they told us, right? They told us that IDs are racist, okay? That they discriminate against black and brown people, against poor people. So I'm trying to figure out if the whole point of a government-owned grocery store is to allow poor people to afford groceries, right? Those poor people would be black and brown, right? Then how can you justify having an ID system in place for the grocery store, but not for voting, right? Ain't it crazy how that works? Think about it. The point of the government-owned grocery store is supposed to be to lower the cost of groceries for the needy, for poor folks, right? That's the whole point. But yet, when it comes to voting, they say, well, no, see, you don't understand. Voter ID is discriminatory against poor people, right? Against black and brown people. They too stupid. So therefore, we shouldn't have that. It doesn't make sense, right? It tells you that a lot of what they believe is just BS. It's BS, okay? It's BS. They want to allow anybody to vote. They don't want any type of election integrity because ultimately that benefits Democrats, right? It benefits them.
Please.
Mr. President, New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani is requiring an ID to access his government-run grocery stores. What then is your message to Democrats who do not want to pass the Save America Act and ensure, ID at the ballot box?
This was just announced. Yeah. I heard about it. Yeah. Well, I wish they'd have an ID to access the voting booth. You know, they don't want to access the voting booth with any identification. We want voter ID and we want proof of citizenship. Well, he also had a thing where you had to have 2 different IDs to shovel snow during the winter, right? So that's a very friendly question. I like her. Who are you with?
One American News, sir.
Very good. All right.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, right? Again, clearly, this is very hypocritical, okay? And that's why Mondami is receiving a whole lot of backlash for this, right? New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani sparked a wave of criticism from MAGA World on Monday when his administration announced at a press conference that his city-run grocery stores would require IDs. Quote, how are you going to keep people from taking advantage of that deal, basically? And is there going to be a limit on the number of items that someone can take that are discounted at that level from that essential basket? A reporter asked Mamdani about the logistics of his free taxpayer-funded grocery stores. Free and taxpayer funded. I don't think that they go in the same sentence, right? You can't have something to be free if it's funded by taxpayers. So our RFP makes very clear that this is a program for New Yorkers to be able to put food on the table, not a program for people to be able to make a quick buck through reselling. That's exactly what they're going to do. That's exactly what they're going to do. I'm going to pass it over to our EDC head, Gene Pack, to add some additional details. Mamdani replied. Yeah. So basically, they're requiring ID. Okay. And Mamdani's being mocked for this. Rick Scott says it's not just ironic, it's hypocritical. Mamdani's going to require an ID check for his grocery stores, but thinks it's racist to require one for federal elections. We have to pass the Save America Act to end this corruption. Dave Portnoy says, so you need a valid ID to shop at Mamdani government grocery stores to make sure the system isn't taken advantage of. But the same people who love this idea will also scream racism if you say you need a valid ID to vote so the system doesn't get taken advantage of. Hypocrites. Yeah, obviously. Mike Lee says ID required for the socialist grocery store, no ID required to vote. House Republicans say Mamdani is requiring ID to shop at his communist grocery store so non-citizens of New York City can't buy the discounted food. So why are he in the Democrat Party opposed to requiring ID so non-citizens can't vote? This is hilarious, right? But at the same time, it once again shows that the communists, that the Democrats are full of it when it comes to IDs. Because they love IDs, apparently, when it's convenient for them, right? When they don't want people taking advantage of their socialist handouts, right? When they want to make sure that their socialist experiments are able to work, right? Aren't undermined by waste, fraud, and abuse, right? So they go out their way to say, hey, we're going to require IDs because we want to make sure that people don't take advantage of this government-owned grocery store. We want the store to at least appear to be successful so that we can say that this stuff works. So again, they'll put that racist ID there, right, in order to prevent abuse. But for whatever reason, they don't feel like they should do this for our elections, right? It's totally fine to not have it in place to vote, but they want it in place in order to buy some.
So we got to talk about RFK Jr. because he recently went on CNN to speak with none other than Dana Bash. And when I tell you, he absolutely owned her. He owned her. Exposed her along with all of the other folks that work at the Communist News Network and BS Now and, these other networks out here for being the frauds that they are. And I want to talk about it. So with that being said, make sure you guys smack that like button, subscribe if you are new. Also go and subscribe to my second channel as well. The link is down below in the description box. It is called Extra Rich. All right. Hope to see you guys over there. Let's jump on into it, shall we?
All the blame on the COVID pandemic and the way that the U.S. responded to it squarely with Dr. Fauci. But of course, he worked for President Trump. Does President Trump also deserve some of the blame?
Well, President Trump, as you recall, wanted to end the lockdowns. I think the thing that did the most damage to our country was the lockdowns that shut down 3 3.5 million businesses in our country with no due process, no just compensation. All of our churches closed, our schools, and our children are still paying the price for that. And yet we had the worst outcome of any country in the world.
How so?
We have the highest death rate from COVID of any nation on earth.
Well, let me just say, because I've heard you say that before on the death rate from COVID. It's not accurate because public health experts say that there is a combination of factors that went into that: higher rates of chronic illnesses, which I know you would agree with, gaps to our healthcare system, and misinformation about vaccines.
You just said what I said was inaccurate. What I said was accurate. We had the highest death rate from COVID of any.
Well, there are.
She literally just repeated what he said, but she said it in a different way. Well, there were some added things that contributed to them dying of COVID. And RFK is like, okay, and I said they died of COVID, which is what happened. And she just repeated that same thing. Well, they also had these other things that contributed to them dying of COVID. Okay, but they died of COVID. It's the bottom line. The point is they died of COVID at a higher rate. That was the whole point. But of course, she's got to get the talking points in.
There are other countries that had higher, but
you can
go ahead.
argue about why we had that, but nobody can tell you. I mean, we have, as you say, we have the highest chronic disease burden in the world. But Anthony Fauci was mismanaging the COVID pandemic and was doing it under the Biden administration. President Trump wanted to end the lockdowns. And in fact, in Anthony Fauci's diaries, he talks about how President Trump is calling him every day, trying to get him to reopen the country.
Yeah, well, the lockdowns were done by governors. I mean, certainly Anthony Fauci and the president had opinions, but the lockdowns were done by governors, and largely because...
Well, no shit, but they were following the advice of Anthony Fauci. That's the whole point. So she's playing this game. Well, it was the governors, but whose advice were they following? They didn't just pull that out of their behinds. They didn't pull it out of their butts. Oh, yeah, let's just shut down. Like, no, they were following the advice of someone who was supposed to be trusted on all of this information. Lo and behold, he was never to be trusted. Shouldn't have been trusted. We shouldn't have trusted that man with nothing, with anything. Okay? And that's the whole point.
And largely because they were hearing from hospitals saying that their ICUs were overrun and they needed some help while that was happening.
Well, that's not true. That's just not true.
It is true.
You're saying it's not true. No, they were doing it because Anthony Fauci was telling them from the top, you need to lock down. There were ICUs that were empty all over the country, including in New York at the height.
I'm asking you, I'm going to go back to what I asked you at the beginning, which is President Trump. And he was the guy in charge. And you tweeted back in 2024 that he let bureaucrats like Anthony Fauci shut down the entire country. The president was in charge.
The president was trying to reopen the country when he left. The country was kept closed for another year, almost a year and a half after that.
Let's talk about how to prevent the next pandemic, because there's a lot of litigating and relitigating that I don't think is really helpful to do with regard to COVID.
We ain't preventing anything. We ain't buying it. We ain't doing it. I talked about this the other day, and thank you to everyone that commented on that video and let me know it was the hantavirus. So I greatly appreciate y'all. I do read the comment section. Trust me, I really do. It's a lot of y'all, so replying to everybody every single day is a lot, but I do read through the comment section. So thank you to those of you that replied when I was trying to think of what it was called. It was the hantavirus. That not long ago, right? They were all telling us, oh my goodness, the whole panic, and everybody was just like, no, we're not doing this again. We ain't locking down. We ain't taking a jab. We ain't following, the 6 foot distance rule, no, we ain't doing it. And then all of a sudden the hantavirus disappeared. They stopped talking about it. No more hantavirus, guys. It just magically just vanished. Interesting how that works, isn't it? When we all were like, nope, not doing it. Not doing it. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen again. When they try to do this again, which they probably will, We're going to say the same thing. Nope, not doing it. Not following your directions. We ain't doing the masks. We ain't doing the jabs. We ain't doing the social distancing. F you and F whatever you try to do. Okay?
And the question is about
many other global pandemics that we have come from gain-of-function research. The RSV epidemic that we have, that is the biggest killer of kids in this country today, came from these kind of experiments. The Lyme disease almost certainly came from this kind of research. So, and the scientists who you say are experts are making the argument that this is necessary for pandemic response, cannot point to one instance in history where research that came out of this kind of experimentation has actually provided us something beneficial.
So how do you prepare then? How do you prepare for the next pandemic? I mean, that's literally part of your job now, because experts think it's going to happen within the next 10 years again.
Yeah, an expert said that the Biden laptop was fake.
Right. Russia hopes.
51 intelligence agents signed off saying that it's not real.
That we're having no deaths from COVID and treating, in some cases, thousands of patients. And we weren't listening to them. Instead, we were doing the opposite. We were shutting them down. And then, Dana, the other thing that I would say is that we need to protect our constitutional rights. That is the primary obligation of our country. Mean? Well, during COVID, we completely dismantled our constitutional rights. We began censoring people in violation of the First Amendment.
But I'm not. You're saying what not to do. I'm asking what to do. But I want to talk about.
That's something to do.
Hey, Chad. Trey Dog said you guys banned him. Hit me up saying you guys banned him.
When he started talking about what exactly they were doing, censoring folks, shutting people down. Oh, well, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about it. You're calling us out a little too much. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, I bet you don't, Dana. I bet you don't.
That is the number one priority. We protect the Constitution. The Constitution was written.
Forgive me, but you're talking about rights, and I'm asking about a potential public health crisis that is coming. But I do want to
And one of the mistakes we made in the last time was suppressing those rights so people weren't being heard. The doctors who were saying you're doing it wrong were being marginalized and vilified.
Yeah, and because again, I really want to move on, but
yeah,
you were saying yes, I do.
You were part of the problem.
No, I wasn't part of the problem.
There was absolute press malpractice. You weren't allowing
Mr. Secretary,
your job is a fierce skepticism toward authority. And
yes,
you weren't doing that. You were beating up
my job
people
is also
who were dissenting.
No. Okay. Are you want to sit here and attack me, or do you want to have conversations about public health? I'm not attacking you. I'm asking questions about how to prevent the next pandemic.
Question and I'll tell you.
That's what I'm trying to do. But I also don't want to use this interview to allow you to say things that aren't entirely true. You're talking about therapeutics, fine. It is also factually true that the COVID vaccine worked. The COVID vaccine prevented deaths. There is data upon data upon data. Let's talk about the measles, please, because this is something that is happening as we speak.
I literally have a video of, I believe it was Rachel Maddow, that went live on air and said, hey, when you get the jab, that's where the virus stops. It can't use you as a host to spread to anybody. So
people made mistakes. Absolutely.
You were scaring people.
Why are you saying that?
Because that was the job of CNN.
Okay.
Was to put the chyrons up about how many people are.
We were trying to we were listening to the leaders in this country, including the president, who had a daily press conference explaining what was going on and trying to listen.
Were you listening?
I want to talk to measles.
Actually, were you reading the measles yourself?
Measles cases in the U.S. just reached a 35-year high. The second record-breaking year in a row. 93% of these cases are among the unvaccinated. The outbreak is happening on your watch. And even before becoming HHS secretary.
I don't even believe that. I haven't heard of anybody with measles. Has any? Comment below. Be honest too. Hey, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't care. Have you heard of anybody with the measles recently? I haven't heard about a single soul. Because they were saying the same thing last year. Oh, measles outbreak, measles outbreak. Ah! I haven't heard about a single soul. Not a single one. I haven't seen or seen any videos of anybody with measles. Y'all let me know in the comments, please. I think that's just a made-up statistic to try to scare us, to try to demonize the Trump administration once again, because this is what they do. And listen, once again, I'm not one of these folks who always has to be right, okay? I understand that at any point in time, I could be wrong about anything. I could be wrong about this. And that's why I'm just putting myself on Front Street. If I'm wrong, cool. I'm wrong. Let me know that I'm wrong, okay? I'm just saying I haven't seen it. So I'm asking y'all if you've seen anything. Because me personally, like I said, I think they're making this up. Oh my goodness, nobody's getting our jabs anymore, so let's scare them into thinking there's going to be another outbreak. Nobody's pumping their kids full of needles. Let's scare the crap out of them. But maybe I'm wrong. Once again, like I said, maybe I am completely off. Maybe I'm the lunatic in this situation. Let me know, please. Like I said, I'm open to being wrong, to being proven wrong. Because I very well could be. I very well could be. I will admit that. I could be completely wrong.
For years, you have been one of the leading voices questioning the efficacy of vaccines. Do you accept some responsibility for this measles outbreak?
Absolutely not. First of all, this is an international outbreak. So, and we're doing better at handling it than any country in the world. Mexico has 15 times the amount of measles per capita that we have. Canada has 4 times the amount of measles. England has 2 times the amount of measles. Did I cause those measles outbreaks?
You're the most famous.
Did I cause 137,000 cases?
You're the most famous vaccine skeptic on the planet.
Let me tell you, because actually.
Oh, so now the influence. See, hold on. Remember earlier when she said no, it was the governors who shut it down. It wasn't Fauci. She wanted to ignore his influence. But now, when these other countries are having issues that ain't got nothing to do with RFK Jr., well, it's your influence. You see how that don't work? On one hand, it's not the person's influence, but on the other hand, it is the person's influence. Oh, Dana, you should be fired yesterday. Not today, not tomorrow. You should be fired yesterday. You should have been fired. You're horrible.
Anthony Fauci in his diaries answers the question about why we're having a measles outbreak right now. The reason we're having a measles outbreak because of the COVID lockdowns, because children during that period did not get vaccinated. And in his diaries, he says this is going to cause massive outbreaks of measles and more children, he says this, are going to die. Let me finish, because you could accuse me of something. Now, let me.
No, I didn't. I asked you a question.
Yeah, let me give you the answer. He says in his diaries, more children are going to die from measles because of these lockdowns than COVID. So if you want to know, and that age group that should have gotten the MMR when they're 18 months and didn't get it, they're the ones being infected. The people in this country, and we have stopped the outbreaks at record speed in South Carolina, in Texas, in Utah, in Virginia. We've done better than any country in the world. I dispatch immediately the epidemic intelligence services to those states. I get on the phone with the governor and we stop them in their tracks. Nobody else has been able to do that.
You have a bully pulpit.
Let me tell you just one last thing.
Go ahead.
The communities that are suffering from measles are almost all religious communities that just don't vaccinate. The Mennonites have not vaccinated since 1796, since Edward Jenner invented the smallpox vaccine. It's hard to blame that. I mean, as much as you want to blame it.
No, I don't want to blame you. I'm asking you because you have a very powerful voice on these issues for people who are skeptical. In fact, let me finish.
And I've never questioned the efficacy of the MMR vaccine.
Okay, let me finish. What I want you to do is please use your bully pulpit to right now, as we're getting close to back to school, are you willing to say to parents who have not vaccinated their kids that they should vaccinate their kids for measles because it is safe and it will help them save their children's lives.
I tweet tell people on my websites, my public
Right now,
and I'll
look
say
into the
it right
camera.
now that parents should get their children vaccinated for measles. A measles vaccine is effective. It stops measles in about 97% of the cases. Well, people should get vaccinated.
Can I ask you, the Wall Street Journal reported that the president is pressuring you to conduct studies probing the link between vaccines and autism. Is that true?
Did you say probing the link?
I'm just quoting the Wall Street Journal, that the president wants you to go further to probe the link between autism and vaccines.
He certainly does.
Okay. Now, have you talked to him about medical research that have studied this for 25 years and found no link between autism and vaccines? And just the...
I knew it was coming. Right. So y'all get the message, man. He absolutely ran circles around her and exposed her for just being a mouthpiece for these big companies. Mouthpiece. You know? Well, are you aware that we've studied this for 25 years? Yeah, and I'm also aware that we have had the same treatment for cancer for like 80 years. Chemotherapy has been around for a very, very long time. And what's the number one treatment for people who are diagnosed with cancer? The same thing that they were doing almost 100 years ago. Don't you find that crazy? Ain't that interesting? You know, I'm nobody special, right? I'm not plugged in anywhere. I don't have any insider information or anything like that. I don't have any government access or nothing like that. Hell, I haven't even talked to Uncle Trump yet. I say yet. It's going to happen one day. It's going to happen one day. Me and Uncle Trump going to have a conversation. But don't y'all find that interesting? Of all of the billions, probably trillions of dollars that have been collected and donated towards cancer research, we don't have anything better than chemo? I mean, at this point, I would think, hey, when somebody is diagnosed with cancer, okay, no problem. What stage are you?
In an hour and 50 minutes since I've been screaming.
And it ain't chemo. It's, you know.
I don't care about Trump, don't care about me. Who cares? What matters to me that I go to heaven. How about that? I don't care about Trump, don't like me, don't know me. I voted for him, I'm happy that I voted for him. Welcome to the chat. Name is Deontay. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you guys get banned from the channel by my mods, don't be coming to me crying about you got banned. Like, as if you subscribe to the channel, as if you like the channel or share my channel. If you ain't have a like, share, or subscribe to the channel, why are you coming to me, texting me saying, I got banned, I got kicked out. So what? Subscribe to the channel. How about that? That's crazy. Yeah, chat. People, you know what I'm saying, hitting me up like Tony, me, other conservatives crying about getting kicked out the chat. As if they bringing some type of value to the chat. All you doing is being annoying. After a while, it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying, I get the mods giving you a chance, but you get banned. Stop crying. Get your own channel. That's the problem. You guys call me a coon, tap dancing, and as soon as you get kicked out of a channel, you want to hit us YouTubers up crying about being banned. Make that make sense. Fucking 6'7". That shit crazy as hell. I got banned. But yeah, all along, you in my channel calling me a coon, I'm a sellout, I'm a bootlicker. You disrespecting me the whole entire time in my chat, you know what I'm saying? And the guys got your stupid ass up out of here. That's crazy. Be offended, be banned. How about that? You guys started, boy.
Take these few pills for 7 days.
Be banned.
And then we'll get you on another set of pills for another 7 days, and you'll be good to go. That should be where we're at right now, and we're nowhere near that. Nowhere near it. At least as far as my knowledge goes. Maybe we just came up with something. I don't know. I mean, y'all can let me know in the comment section, but I haven't heard of anything. Haven't heard of anything. You know, people still die of cancer today, and I would have assumed, you know, things would have been completely different by now. I mean, just think about the technology that we had 80 years ago in comparison to. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me make sure I got the numbers right. how long, or let's see, when was chemotherapy created for cancer treatment? In the 1940s. 1940s. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? Were there even TVs in the 1940s? There probably weren't even TVs in the 1940s. I don't remember. I don't know exactly when the TV was created. Probably wasn't in the 1940s. Maybe late 40s. Maybe 50s. I don't know. But anyway, the things that we had in the 40s.
Right. Bootlick is the party, you know what I'm saying? The party that thinks men can get pregnant, which is the Democrat Party. The party of Big Mike. I appreciate that, Dakota, watching both me and Tony. That's what's up. Oh, Tony on? Okay, bet. Well, shit, how many people I got on here right now? Well, guess what? I'm going to go ahead and get off then. I let you guys go to Tony. Fuck it. It's been it's been 2 hours anyway. I'll be back tomorrow for you guys. I'll be back tomorrow in the morning. So I'm going to get up out of here. He said, let me make sure. Let's see what's going on. All right, well, okay then, bet. Let's see, I'm gonna do this. What are you up to? Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, you guys. Catch you guys later. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll be back for you guys.